Good.
Yeah, there we are. Lovely, thanks, Ian.
Okay.
Okay, those of us who are here and not skiving off in the sunshine. Apologies for absence,
I
Ian.
only have Councillor Sarah Keaton.
Right, and as I say, Ed.
Yes, they of the councillors.
Oh, yeah.
But
Okay.
Ed's the only
Sarah's the only
Sarah's the
councillor.
only councillor. Yes.
Right, of those who are here, are there any declarations of interest for anything on the agenda? No? Very good. Minutes. They're on your folder. They're in your folder.
They are here. Yeah.
Right, no, they're not in the Teams folder.
Oh.
No. We've got the actions, but we haven't got the minutes. But if you've got a copy there, you could just email it to me. I'll have a quick. Does anyone? I suppose not, because you probably haven't seen it. Thanks, Ian. Okay, right. Obviously, yeah. Thank you, Phil, for taking on the role of vice chair. We approved the minutes. Actions, obviously, we're going to go through anyway. Ian will pick those up. We've got budget monitoring here, so we can pick up that. We've got Buzz and Bloom here. We've got monthly report from Lydia. So things on the agenda. So I think we could probably, are we happy to approve the minutes? And everything is either on Ian's action points or on the agenda. Okay, so Ian, if you want to update us on the actions.
Yes, certainly.
It's quite a way down before we get.
Yes, the first one is number 30, which is yours.
That's to
do with the
yes. Before Paul was busy, tied up with stuff, and then he was going away. So
Lydia did contact. I think you contacted Paul, didn't you?
Spoke to Paul.
Okay.
So there is for the budget line that he said there was, but there is a budget for street furniture. It was
yes.
Said I said it would probably be enough for maybe 2 signs this year.
Okay.
So what signs they would be?
I think the most important is to get the signs for the bottle fillers. So we've got signs pointing people to the bottle fillers. I think they're really key.
I didn't know.
Oh.
It says here water fountains, the nature reserve itself, community orchard, slow worms at Fairwood Park. If we could find out.
Yes, because we talked about it before you came last. You were still getting some.
I wouldn't mind finding out more about the site for what's at Fairwood Park, because if it was only a couple of £100, I might chuck some money out of my ward.
They proved to be at when we did Norton Nature Reserve, but I really do think Norton Nature Reserve could do with one fund to get it being.
Is that big sign that's there? There's a huge sign. It's literally that big, and it's on 2 big metal poles, so it sticks out over the wall. But at the moment, there's trees and things in front of it.
We haven't seen it because of trees.
You know where you go in that corner, and it faces sort of diagonally out from the corner. And we've got Lewis Hines gave us permission to use it, but it's up to us to clear the brambles and stuff in front of it.
Okay.
So yeah, go and have a little wander down there, climb through the undergrowth.
Which corner are we talking about? The one that as you go in with the on the
Actually, in the
Is it behind the wall?
Is it
wall, but it's high enough.
anyone? Just the same.
Nothing. It's just an empty blank ready for us to put something on it.
It's 2 poles, so it needs to be.
It's just, so it's 2 poles and all it needs is a,
No, it's a big metal plate on 2 poles. Yeah.
assuming it would need just something to be screwed onto it.
Yeah. So all it would need, you could just screw something onto it.
Well, I would like to do something. I don't want to get just plastic signs. That would be, I really want to try and get something
Sustainable.
like recycled or
Could we get that metal sign painted?
Yes, we could. Maybe Fresh Creative could paint straight onto the sign.
Or
That would work. wouldn't it?
graffiti.
Well, I think it's got to be clear enough to
Yeah.
see it. There's no.
You saw your MCC.
We have got on the container you might have seen there is a logo for Norton Nature Reserve which they had a
Yes.
template for. If they've still got that template,
That would be
they can just
fantastic.
reuse that template.
Yeah. So, so the first action on that action is if you want to, you and Ashley go and have a look and see what needs to be done to clear the undergrowth in front of it so it's visible. In the winter, you can see it quite easily. But of course, because it's been neglected for all these years, stuff has got really established now in front of it. So, yeah, carry on.
Well, sorry, no, I was going to say good idea because I hate the logo. I think you and Norton is nobody really knows it's there apart from a core group of people who love it. I think increasing footfall and appreciation would be a great idea.
Yeah, and we could sort of combine it with maybe the bottle filler arrow sort of pointing up rather than a separate sign.
File somewhere a sticker template that someone had made before I started with then water filling on it.
Yes,
And I thought it would be a good idea to get them made into stickers that we put on the water fillers.
yes.
Because it says Mumbles Community Council on it and it says this is a
Good idea.
yeah. So I would we get them made in
What we need is on the prom, directly opposite, is like a finger post, bottle filler, so people know to go over there to use it. Because again, people don't realise it's there.
There's no direct crossing point at that.
And
See.
but if they know it's there, they can then go over the crossing, which is only 50 yards up. Cross over and come back cut through Norton.
It's when people get to using it, they'll know it's there.
Yeah.
So are we saying that the 2 ones that we want to focus on are Norton Nature Reserve and the
one.
water filler?
Yes, I think so. As I say, the other one which we really need to have signposted again from the prom is the water filler in Oystermouth Square.
Water
Back of the toilets.
would be lovely is to get some water drop footprints.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of going across.
The only thing is the water fillers, that's 4 different signs. Should I?
I know, but I don't think the Klein one is so because people walk up and down that path anyway. Yes, Helen.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Carrie. I think that one by the castle and Klein Gardens are used well because they're right on the path and people know they're there, don't they? I don't think that's the case for the Oystermouth one. So I think some signposting for that would be a great idea. But Lydia, I was going to ask, remember we had that conversation with Martin Brown's person about that he hadn't put the little MCC logo on the Klein one, and he said he had, and then we realised he hadn't.
Is it still that he never did it?
I don't think I could double check again this week, but the last time I was there, which was recently, he wasn't there.
Sounds working at the moment, and messaged me last week saying that he was contacting them. He said that you asked him to contact them.
I did, and then the company that he was thinking to contact weren't ours, so I asked him to contact you to get your details, and then he was going to contact them.
He did contact me and put me in but he said he was happy to do it. Because I didn't see whether it was to go and check if it was still broken.
Yeah.
or how broken it was, because it cost us £125 to get them fixed.
It's ridiculous because, I mean, they're not that old, you know.
It's broken.
I know.
And the last time they came and did a service, they didn't do a very good job of looking after them.
So that people are breaking the spout off or something.
No, they just seem to leak
Martin
inside.
told me that when they came to service them, they left them in a state. And I asked him to send me photos and he never did. I know he did send me a photo, but it didn't really show what.
Oh, what problem?
So I mentioned it to them on the phone and said, look, the last time your people came, they didn't look after them properly apparently. They left lots of scratches on them just to make them aware, and the person on the phone got very defensive. How do you know it was us and not? I remember. So yeah, I got really defensive and
Trying to get it working.
yeah, well, and
So
it wasn't saying
frustrating.
anything. So I just asked them to be more careful next time and said there's one that's not working. There's a person to get it fixed.
So she said.
So if there's a problem with any of the other ones, please let me know now.
Is
And
the skate park one working?
every time I cycle home, I check it.
And it's fine. Because it's saying the castle one is fine.
That was dripping.
It was dripping, but it's not. It wasn't like pouring out.
So
So
it's just the line.
yeah. So just
Ash is
fine.
It should be anyway.
Good. Yeah, it is frustrating because you see them, you know, different styles all over the place. They all look really robust, and ours just seem to need fixing all the time. Anyway, so signs, yeah, bottle fillers, Norton Nature Reserve. I mean, I'd love to have one for the orchard as well, but
As I
you
said,
want the slow worms.
I'd like to see them for the slow worms. So if you are getting quotes, or if you are looking at that,
Yeah, if I find a good company, and then get some quotes from them, I can send that.
that's great.
Your way.
And they all need to be bilingual, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we can get those braille, well, not braille, but you know, the codes for visually impaired people on them, because we've got a kind of contract thing, haven't we, for those?
Yeah, I need to get in contact with them. We didn't pay it. But Paul has it on record that we did pay it, but they're saying we didn't pay it.
Oh, no. And he's got a record of us having paid.
Yeah, so I sent it through.
All right,
And I've
yeah.
lost contact with him again, so I need to chase him up about that. So I'll
Yeah,
chase
okay, good.
Carrie,
Yeah,
can I ask you a question? Sorry, so the water fillers, I always think it's a bit of a, there's always like hassle for Lydia, and I wondered whether Ash could take them on, because it kind of feels to me like, like
Yeah.
sites with Lydia's role, it's more projects, awareness raising, engagement.
No, I think Ash is, because he's chasing them up about getting them on applying effects.
I have kind of handed it over to Ash really, but I just had all the contacts. But I've passed on all the contact details to Ash that he needs,
Oh, great. Yeah.
and he's going to do that. And in terms of checking that they're still all working, that's obviously as maintenance of the green spaces, that falls under his role. So that's
Great.
But yeah, because since they've been installed, there's been so many problems. I've just continued sorting the problems. And I just, because I've known the history of all the problems, but I've handed over that history to Ash now. So hopefully do it over.
Okay, so it looks like signs are in hand.
Signs in hand. So number 31 is the picnic benches, which Carrie's going to give us an update on.
Oh, jolly good.
Yes, so I have been speaking with DPD from Swansea.
Yes.
He is going to help us move them because of the original quotes that came back were extortionate.
Yeah.
So I am waiting for him to come back to me
Okay.
on the price, but obviously it's something that we have been discussing, so it's not the
Yeah.
out there. I will chase him tomorrow just to say,
Great.
have you got an idea of when we can get some of these benches moved? He's had all the locations from me already because okay, Dan said they're fine. I
Brilliant.
just need to chase them now to see what the next stage is.
Excellent. Right, is there, just sorry, going off topic a bit, is there an update on the dispute between the council and picnic benches and the businesses? or is it you've sort of left them to it really?
So we had a,
Because I know, was it the Chapter of the Mermaid? It's really rude.
yeah, we had a, we had an email which Martin responded to and explained all the actions that we had taken as a council so far. And did state to him that if he didn't feel that he was getting anywhere, that he suggested he contact his local MP, because obviously Swansea have given us the same answer many times.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, by the time that was approved by the council and sent out, we got into PEP. So obviously we got a bit of a shirty reply back because we got into PEP, and it's the same with us now. He hasn't contacted us, he hasn't, I don't know if he's contacted Antonia. But we did actually ask for a meeting with the leader of Swansea City Council as well as part of the negotiations that we were doing.
Yeah.
And we've had a response this week to say that they are open to meeting with us to address
Okay, good.
concerns. So
Yeah, because I think if we can, you know, I'm just conscious that, you know, if ours all suddenly disappear, you know, that the businesses will be like, well, you know, something will ask you know, people to sit.
Swansea have brought in a policy which is £50 per chair if they want to put their chairs and tables out there.
Okay.
And then people to round up their chairs, so
That's
there's segregation and markings of who's a who's when they're in there, but I don't know how many people have taken up on that, or if anybody has.
Okay, but at least yeah, so there is some progress.
There is some
on that.
progress, yeah.
Good. Okay, well, let's hope. I mean, you know, every summer comes and goes, and we say we'll get them sorted for next summer. But yeah, so it will happen eventually. Okay, thanks, Ian. Have you got?
Number 42.
Yeah.
To draft an environmental
Oh, yeah.
vision plan for discussion as an agenda item. Lydia has contacted One Voice Wales, and on the 11th of June, they suggested that a Section 6 report be compiled and that an existing biodiversity action plan be incorporated into an interactive document. This is ongoing, and we're asking that it be deferred till September.
Sounds reasonable. So, I mean, we've done the Section 6 report, haven't we?
Yes, so we've got a Section 6 report and a biodiversity report, but
Oh,
reports that kind of are separate and people don't really read. So I think we need to do some sort of publicity thing to say that we have these are a few bullet points.
Yeah.
These are our goals, and this is what we want as a council. And this is why we're doing what we're doing, because I think a lot of people are a bit, you know, especially people that may be quite sceptical about environmental actions, are wondering why we're doing.
There's a significant amount of pushback in the West Cross area from residents who are not appreciative of the weeds, as they put it, in every single year, rather than them being wildflowers that haven't been glyphosate.
So that was a promotion. That was a bit of a PR project.
Yeah, that was really nice, the stuff the kids did. Really good, those videos.
You know, we want to keep momentum on that. It's finding the time to add an extra project. So
You have to stop a minute because you're not.
Oh. Do you want to suspend recording, Ian?
Yeah.
Oh, we just.
I think it's awkward with
Oh, is it?
yeah.
Oh, because it then comes as two separate files. Okay, fair enough.
She's in a good section, so.
Yeah, she's got a very poorly child there with her. So yeah, he probably needs some bit of attention from his mum. Funny time of year to get tonsillitis. You think if it was a winter thing.
My
Is that what causes it?
Yeah, I mean, we're all taking antihistamines, which
Yeah.
of course then causes drowsiness.
Yes. Sarah being
Particularly that.
wiped out, yeah. Yes. But yes, I think you're right. We did some sort of just short kind of bullet point that people can.
yeah, getting some sort of promotion.
Good. Talking of promotion, is there any progress with getting our environmental pages of the website?
I've done I'll show you. I've created a website.
Oh, Helen's back.
Done it for them.
So where will
Should I do the last one, Carrie?
Yes,
The
please.
last one is number 59. And this is for Lydia to contact the university students
Yes.
in relation to assisting with volunteer days. And if you're happy, we're going to postpone this until October when the students return in September.
Yeah, there's no point in doing it before, yeah.
Okay, so that includes the actions.
I don't know whether there's any way we could kind of get involved in Freshers Week or see if there's one of the societies there who would put some of our leaflets out or something.
I can email Swansea Tree Society, who I know, and Swansea Green Society,
Yeah.
and see if we've got some flyers or anything we want to promote at the time, we can give it to them.
I was just thinking that might be a good time to kind of, make a first start on raising their interest if they're all there looking at signing up for things and we've just got some publicity out would be good.
And of course, we have 2 universities. We have both
We do.
and
Yeah. University of Wales, Trinity St David's. Yeah, which is sort of the other side of Swansea. It's not quite as that. Although having said that, half Swansea University is up Fabian Way now, so yeah. Okay, and that's it, is it?
Thank you, Chair.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ian.
On to the budget.
On to the budget, indeed. Right, now you hopefully will have seen that Paul has kind of made it a bit, oh, come on. Sorry, it's just refusing, it keeps asking me how I want to open it. He has now got a traffic light system.
Yeah.
And if we're all, well, yeah, all green is good, because all green means we have money we need to get spent. So it's both good and bad. Overspent on anything, which I suppose is a start. And that's really, that links in with what I'm hoping to do is when we start, Lydia's made a start on doing the action plan. And what we need to make sure is that all these things are incorporated into the action plan. So we have a plan to spend that money. So that over the year, we've actually got a clear programme to get everything spent.
So split their budgets.
Yeah. So that would be the ideal. So has anybody got any questions about anything on the budget monitoring report? I will just mention Castlewoods Paths, which actually is Castlewood and Washing House Brook Paths.
Yeah.
Both Sarah / Rebecca and Will have put in grant applications to Swansea Council for money to get some work done on both sets of paths. So there's no point in us doing anything with that money until we know what the outcome of those are, and then our money will then be added on to whatever they get from Swansea Council. So fingers crossed.
Yes, there are some hurdles to jump.
Probably.
The first application round will not be until the end of July.
Oh.
We're waiting to do it until after the election.
Well, of course. That would, yeah, but having said that, we've always said that actually the paths work should be done in autumn because we don't want it in the middle of summer when people are using the paths. And they're reasonably dry and usable most of the summer on normal summers when it doesn't rain every day. So that would actually work quite well.
Yeah, Carrie, you're not for it at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was going to make my point anyway, because it doesn't have to be minuted, is that the thing that we've looked at is that in Washinghouse Brook is housing land. It's definitely housing land.
Is it? So that's finally
so
been
that's council.
ascertained.
However, we do remember at some distant meeting, there was question over ownership of the paths around the castle and who owns what.
No, they own them. Swansea Council know they own all the paths, but what they don't know is which department is responsible for them.
There we go.
They fell into between the cracks when they reorganised all the departments. For some reason, Castlewood Paths didn't feature on, hello, Griff, on anyone's responsibilities. So,
You need to go to the cabinet member on that, then, don't you?
well, if we knew which cabinet member, because we went to RFD assuming it was him, and he says, no, it's not him. Kerry Davis is Parks, and he says it's not him. Who else did we try? But we tried Lewis Hines. He was the one who ascertained it absolutely definitely is Swansea Council land.
The person who would probably know is Simon, who does all the actual,
The tree man.
and no, Simon, he actually does all the groundskeeping.
That's a name I don't know.
So whenever there's anything to talk about grass cutting and clearance locally, Simon usually works out of the cemetery. He's got his team, his area team is out of the cemetery. So
And they would do paths maintenance or not.
They might do the paths, but they certainly got all the trackers and, you know,
Yeah.
stuff that they
I mean, I know
in this area.
when they were doing the Ash dieback.
Did you have any luck with the Jubilee?
Harry's to help me get it in again,
Right.
but no, not yet.
Oh, well, that's getting the trees around there.
No, she's not back.
No, it's just about boundaries and who's clearing and does what.
Oh, yes, yes.
But then again, he might not do the prom, you see. He might only do things.
This is the problem.
And
I would think Kerry Davis is the prom, I would think, but who knows? But anyway, our issue with Castlewood Paths, but basically my view is that Will, as city councillor, if he can, you know, pin that down.
And again, quietly, because we're not being recorded, there is interest.
Yes. Ian, can you make sure you minute them when they're not quorate as well, please?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Can I just ask about the Jubilee Gardens? It says £8,000. Where's that coming from?
That's the grant.
That's the grant.
Is that after you command?
Ah.
Which has
Keep
arrived.
forgetting it's in our bank now.
Yes. It is real money that is actually there, so it has gone into its allocated slot.
When does it need to be spent by is the question.
November,
Yeah.
right. I know.
We're getting there.
Some progress this afternoon, haven't we? We've got some. Yeah.
Helen's back.
Sorry, everyone.
All right.
That Dave's walking the dog. Jack's got tonsillitis and is out of it. And that was Tom's pickup to go to a campfire with scouts.
Oh, right. Right, we were just talking about the budget and just updating on the paths. I think at that point you left. So, yeah, I mean, whether we get the money, but I don't know if you heard what Phil said, that they've delayed the decisions until the end of July to wait till the election's over. So we have a little longer to wait, but hopefully.
But even if the applications are sent back to us saying we need more evidence or we need a stronger thing, it's a rolling program.
Yeah. So okay.
Just
that's good.
because it might not be refused, but it might be sent back to us and we'd be told, get more information, you got it. Yeah.
Right, okay, so this is city council money, and one of the things was, I think that they would only provide 75%. So there was an expectation, so we can fill that gap with,
We'd agreed to film that anyway, hadn't we, Carrie? I thought that was one of the things about the carry forward, so we should be okay there. That council's
Oh,
approved
yeah, we've
that,
got
isn't it?
money there, yeah.
Yeah.
As I say, there's no point in us looking at trying to get that spent until we know, because what's coming from Swansea Council, then we can put it all together and actually crack on and get something done with the blessing then of Swansea Council, because they will have put the money in. So fingers crossed we get both, and that would be fantastic. Okay, anybody got anything else on the budget?
Looks good.
Oh, did we make any progress with Friends of Klein Gardens and the gazebo and?
Yeah, they're putting in. Sorry, so that money hopefully is still there because we've raised an extra, I think, 4.5 grand, and it's going through planning. So
Right.
you may recall that the last thing we heard from Swansea, which is about this time last year, I was chasing Swansea Council because Rebecca had sent me email saying that they had said it didn't need planning, but Rebecca and I looked at the phrasing and we felt it didn't sound like they were very sure of their own advice. So we went back to them and they then confirmed, yes, we were wrong. It does need land use, it does need planning permission. So at that point, I handed it over to Friends of Klein because I just said, there's no way I'm going to be able to oversee the application. And I spoke to Richard the other day at Klein and Bloom, and he said, oh yeah, the guy, he's been doing loads of work on it, and he said actually it would be a good idea for you to speak to him at this point. So he said Richard's away on holidays at the moment, but he said when he comes back he'll put us in touch with their guy who's leading it and he can give us a bit of an update. So I just think it's in process.
But as long as they're taking the initiative, they're moving forward.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. So basically, when it's all sorted, we then just talk about how we hand over the money, and they can just crack on with it. Brilliant. Be fantastic to get that done. Okay. Anything else?
Just need to approve the
Income and expenditure.
Oh yes. So can we all agree that we're happy with the expenditure, and then on the next?
Yeah, there's nothing surprising on either of those.
Yeah, and the income obviously is the Jubilee Gardens grant.
100 quid for the vets.
And 100 quid from St James's Vets, yes, which was very nice. Okay, lovely. So yes, we have approved all those. Right, Jubilee Gardens.
Yeah.
Thanks for Lydia.
Go through just a couple of things with the Jubilee Gardens budget.
Yep.
So we've got the first half of the grant, which is great. But there's a couple of things that we haven't been able to do just because of budget and things like that. So the evaluation budget was quite low. When people asked about what the budget was, it was quite quickly dismissed.
Yes,
We have found an evaluator,
okay.
Alan Thomas, who does all of our evaluations anyway, and who says he can give us an evaluation, but it won't be the full.
No, but it would just be at least.
So he's going to write all the snares and things. Just take them to the volunteer days and things like that. So we
Good.
yeah. So we have that was why I wanted to put it in there.
Yeah.
At that hot time, I was really struggling with finding when I asked Ian to put that agenda. I was really struggling to find things in budget, but I have something now, so that's it.
Good.
Another thing was an ecological report. Really wanted to get this done before we started, but slightly behind schedule. Really need to just start getting that work done. So what I'm going to do is on the 4th of July, I'm going to do a bit of fire blitz with a volunteer group because we need to do a volunteer day anyway.
So they've all voted first before they come. Oh, dear.
We really do need to start.
Yes.
So that's a volunteer day at last. Yeah.
Okay, so that's July 4th.
Yeah, that's the first step.
And I'm check people out.
So the relationship with Clonfire House, we've spoken about it, and I'm gonna every time we do something, I'm updating them. So as we go on throughout the project, I'm doing project update reports and sending them to all the the steering group and send them to the house, so they're up to date on everything.
But they haven't actually.
They haven't sent anyone down yet, because the tricky thing is that we've spoken is they, because it's a mental health rehabilitation centre, they can't schedule something because they never
Yeah.
and they can't, you know, you can't.
We haven't actually done any work there yet either this time.
Exactly. So the way around, it's being made with them. They're really keen to get involved. I'm updating
Okay.
Tony, who's the Grantham Town Firehouse, with every step, and
Right.
also writing down to everything. But we were also the main involvement with them, which is tricky because it'll be tricky for the evaluation, is once it's up and running, small maintenance task
Yeah,
is going to be where they'll be involved. So
absolutely.
like filling bird feeders, checking, you know, all the
things that they will take responsibility.
will be things that we just say it's open to you.
Yeah.
Give them maybe the bird feed, what we have the budget, however the budget would work for that,
Yeah.
and allow them to pop down whenever they need to.
Okay.
On whenever they feel like they, you know, it would be beneficial to them, you know, because that's the whole point of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best way of doing it.
Okay.
Spoken with Tony. I can't remember his name now. Tony. I think it's Tony.
All right.
So that's the way we're going. So yeah, we're doing a volunteer day instead of getting a proper ecological survey done. And I still think it would be beneficial to try and get, because we have a budget for it,
Yeah.
done at the end.
Yes.
See
Yeah.
whether it's been a benefit as part of the evaluation.
Yeah. No, that would be good.
That
Yeah.
was another thing that got the price down on the evaluation, is that
Yeah.
splitting ecological report docs. So we get,
Yeah.
which if I try and get the work in now, hopefully they won't be so busy and that's going to be
Yeah.
the only tricky thing is with this project is that it's all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it is good for planting, but all the planting needs to be done by then.
Yeah. The trouble is, it's not going to be finished by then.
Yeah, so
Yeah, an ecological report. Yeah, it is.
it needs to be, it's got to be all of the infrastructure in. And me and Ash were speaking of rain garden, and one of the things with the grant is that it needs water filtration as well. Like it needs to contribute to water quality.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But we doesn't have to be that we do that in a rain garden way. But it needs to be part of what we're doing.
Lovely.
But a rain garden, it's something we would really like to do.
Yeah, definitely.
With the drainage engineers.
Yeah. Mm.
So we're looking for some.
Okay.
Taking some contact details today.
Yeah, some more details.
Different organisations
So
who.
we can contact. Yeah. So it's not. I'm still exploring actors as well.
Okay.
Possibility of getting donated.
Nice.
Possibility. So that's where we're achieving.
You did the SUDS training through Open.
I did. So I understand how all SUDS works and how we would do it, but I want to make sure that I'm not just digging up, because how it works basically, it's a perfect place for it. It's at the bottom of Norton Road.
Yeah, true.
And there's a gully pot, which is right next to Jubilee Gardens, which I've spoken to someone, and it goes directly underneath the promenade into the sea. So that means that all the pollutants, heavy metals,
All just running straight into the sea.
down the road, off of the
Yeah.
Mumbles Road into the sea. If we could divert that into a rain garden at Jubilee Gardens, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Improving. So it would be an amazing thing to do, but it's a lot of work and a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find out exactly how much work it is.
Yeah.
So it might be, but it seems like it.
No, it'd be fantastic.
So it's
That'd be absolutely amazing.
But it's feasible.
Yeah.
I am trying to get the working in collaboration with the mental health,
Yeah,
house as well, and see if people watch it.
The
yeah.
Yes, that's true. That might help to just, yeah.
I'm aware that Sarah had floated such an idea recently with the city council. Say that it would have been ambitious is an understatement.
That was
That's-
Rialton.
That sounds more doable along the front there.
And I've contacted one person, Catherine Matthews in Swansea Council. She said that they don't have any budget or anything that they want to do with that at the moment. But I don't know if Sarah has someone that she could speak to, or no.
Which is one of the reasons why it's called rather ambitious.
Yeah. But it would be, I've spoken to someone who works with a lot of the rain gardens in Cardiff. Cardiff is doing a great job.
Oh, okay.
And Swansea, we really need
Swansea a bit lagging
a
behind.
few more in Swansea. And that would be a really special place for it. So it'd be brilliant on board with that. It's their responsibility.
But it would cut the pollution, that'd be fantastic.
Would it be above ground or below ground rainwater harvesting?
Above ground.
Well, yeah. So it works. We would have to divert the water from the gully pot. It's getting the piping right. Because I'm not drainage.
Yeah, and I remember looking at the one in Underhill and being explained about the different pipes. Yeah.
Don't want to do something putting it in. That's why someone that knows what they're doing. Of course, I understand how they work, but it's the technicality of connecting that water source.
Sure.
Fitting oh my gosh, I can't think of words today. A silt collector thing. So
You'd effectively need to find where the gully pot is now. You'd need to put in curbstones that would allow water to flow through into a collection area, which would then feed into the soil. But then when the collection area floods beyond the height the soil can manage, it then drains off into the main sewer system again.
we need
Yeah.
flow, but we don't need to have an overflow if the substrate is permeable.
Yeah.
So we need to get a mini digger in and dig a metre down.
And see what's
And if it is permeable, we don't need no.
Oh, right.
But that's another cost, getting a mini digger in. So
But that all sounds,
it's brilliant.
yeah. Brilliant.
Wanted to update you on.
Excellent. So that's really good. Fantastic. Right, Mumbles, Buzz and Bloom. Are we getting any trees?
We've had one. Spoken to Claire about this today. We really need to get some promotion going on that.
I sent it to all the allotment holders.
Yeah.
And I know that I've had a couple of responses back saying, oh, this sounds really interesting, but none of them have actually.
So I'm getting I've got a banner, I'm getting Jubilee Gardens, so that's getting as well. And this one, so I'm going to get that made and get back up here. And me and Claire were discussing it today. Can we, in the budget, we have 500. Can we put a budget in for a prize and a voucher?
Oh, well, yeah, because
That budget, I think I brought this up before, and we've never done a prize before. So
no, we've just done
Yeah.
a certificate.
It was
Yeah.
more size, I think.
It would.
Swansea and blue.
Yeah.
So
We've always put more money into it before. It's a very limited.
that does have to cover the event. Yeah. But I wonder if we could use another budget to cover that, some sort, or move things around a little bit.
Yeah. It's certainly something we could look at.
You're not.
Right, well, Helen's not here, I'll just say, I have a feeling that the grass verge scheme might have some slack in it because Martin used the plug plants rather than the turf, and that was a much cheaper way of doing it. So there may be a little bit of leeway in the grass verge scheme.
I do think that I'd like to get that like in the next couple of days then. So I would like
Not a lot I can do in a couple of days.
no, as in not moving
Yeah.
budgets around, whether we can commit some of the budget.
£1,000,
What's this year? What happened to your having to spend in your budget last year?
I think it got wiped out.
My budget's
I know it got reduced, but at the end of last year you had £4,000 in the budget. There's no way you wanted to spend your £4,000. So what happened at the end of the year to your unspent budget?
It went elsewhere, I think. Everything just got raised.
I'm gonna check that because it might be something
Yeah.
like that.
Because we've got 2,000, you've got 2,000 in, but I've probably got somewhere but I know we lost a lot.
Thinking of community participation. And the fact that in the past, councils have gone around looking at.
Yeah.
Is there any, I mean, we've got 4 weeks of school left. Could we deputise our kids into nominating gardens?
I don't see how. Really?
They can nominate their mates, their friends, they can, gardens they walk past on the way to school.
I'm just thinking of the logistics of actually how you explain that to 7 schools.
I still think going back to the postcard scheme as a
Children wanted given to their mum.
and say, well, you just say, if you want to nominate a nice garden, kids know about competition.
But what we can do is that I don't think there's probably a lot of mileage in doing it for the children at this point in time. We could certainly put it out round all the schools and send it out through their PTA
Yeah, PTA.
newsletters.
yeah, that was another thing I was offering.
Yeah.
If we can send out a poster for the governors for the schools to send to the schools.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get access to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
We've got some.
personally,
Committee.
if with the approval of Helen and Phil, I could say happily we can give Lydia, we'll have to check with, it's all right with Kerry.
Where's Helen?
I think she was coughing, I think she'd gone to probably get a,
No, Helen.
oh, Helen, oh
It's
no,
got to go.
she's gone. Ah,
Sorry, it froze. It froze
Oh.
with refresh.
yeah, good, you are. No, I was going to say, can we authorise that £500 from Mumbles, Buzz and Bloom to Lydia? You're frozen again. Or else you're very cross.
Put it in the chat, Hel.
Oh, no, she's gone again.
Yeah, I might. I don't know why it's gone glitchy. I'm going to turn my camera off.
Yeah, we just got you and then you froze again.
Yeah, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell if this is what somebody was just suggesting. So apologies if you did, and it prompted an idea in my head, which I'm now claiming for my own. But as well, if you're considering a prize for the winner, I'm just wondering whether whoever nominated also gets a prize, and that might encourage people to nominate. So if you nominated the winning garden, you get like a £20 book token or something.
Oh,
I think that would just increase the budget.
yeah.
Yeah, judged.
And
And August, so you've potentially got a 2-month window to.
Oh, I thought it was during August.
So no judging, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they had the entries in by the end of July,
Start of last week.
first week of August.
I did write down the because
Yeah.
it's me to do that. So middle of July, it's the judging panel. So do we have a finalised judging panel?
Well, Helen did have one, and I'm sure she's got it.
Yeah, I did, and then you corrected it, Carrie, because I put you down for vegetables.
Oh, yes.
So I will have it. Let me-
It's so much of a problem as long as we've got our external judges.
Do you keep the contact details of your people who turn up to your Green Heroes event?
Is there anyone that just signs up through the Eventbrite?
We can email them promotional stuff.
I do, yeah, I already do.
Email them.
Yeah.
That's all right thing.
I can send her another email.
Might be worth it, yeah. But no, yeah, it's a good idea, Helen, but as you say, our budget is so limited, but it's certainly something we could think of for next year. Yeah.
I've got a suggestion now. Could we do a if we did a £30 cash hardware gift card as the prize for each category, that would be £180.
Okay,
And then we'd have £320 left for the awards evening.
sounds good.
Or is £30 enough of an incentive?
I think
So my
so.
original thought was 50, but that would take us to £300.
What we could do
And then these are 200.
is have £30 for each, and then we could have an overall
I gotta just
winner.
say this. I just really don't think that it's necessary. I don't think putting any kind of cash reward in is necessary at all. We've always done it in the past as it's a prestigious thing just to win.
If we only have one entry, we can't really do an awards evening with one person.
Well, I mean, and again, perhaps we've got too many categories. We need to we need to actually broaden our scope rather than, and reduce the number of categories.
I think I do understand what you mean, but I think that we've already.
Because the reward has been to create in the past the in bloom category rather than adding the buzz to it. The in bloom is quite prestigious in itself. The idea that you're doing something for your community, and you're celebrated by the community for it. And what we used to do is actually give everyone a slap up buffet or meal.
Yeah.
The other end of it, which is kind of the reward, if you like. But I just think actually what we've got more logistical issues with at the moment is getting the nominations in, and I don't think
We're not.
Yes, I don't think it's got anything to do with that at all. It's just a lack of. It's just we haven't done one since pre-COVID, and people have forgotten about them. And it's just getting that word back out that we're doing it again, and that is the issue. It's 5 years really since we did the last one, and we've just got to get that enthusiasm back up.
I think my reasoning behind a voucher for cash hardware is it's supporting a local business.
Yeah,
It's if I was a gardener, saw something where I could get,
well, I have no problem with cash hardware. They have done many a favour for community council over the years in terms of reducing their rates and their things. So I haven't got an issue with that.
No, I'm not saying that.
anyway, sorry.
I know you said deputise the kids. Maybe we could put it out to the schools as a message to go to the parents for their
Yes.
gardens.
That's what I was
Doing
thinking.
that, like Claire can email the schools, Lydia, because they have like newsletters that they put out every week.
Absolutely.
So they can say that we're running Buzz and Bloom and nominate your garden.
And we can also say in it, or as well as your own. Have you look at your neighbours? Would you like to nominate one of your neighbours' gardens if there's somewhere that's particularly good near you?
So should I ask them to send an email to schools?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could do some sort of post that gives all the information on it, and just something that encourages them to you know, put their own garden in, but also, you know, anyone they know, any garden they've seen that looks good.
So Claire's asked me to send her a social media post for tomorrow, with, you know, to promote it again.
Okay.
And then we'll do more promotions ongoing. It's just that a lot of promotions been going on with Mumbles Fest at the moment, so things get a little bit lost if we post too much at once. So
Yes.
Can I ask, do we know what our local reach is with SA1?
Full.
Have we got a poster already made up?
yeah,
I imagine so, yeah. We can get the figures off them.
Oh, yeah, a couple of-
I think we should, because I'm not convinced at the moment that we're reaching Mumbles.
Don't know, but that's for the other. You haven't got time to discuss it now. But no, I know what you mean. I'm sure you're right.
Like New Village Hall. Smart Castle, we contact organisations, we want to begin display our poster on
Yeah,
the notice board.
yeah, good idea.
And we get our
Yeah.
coffee with friends.
And what about the,
that was one thing I was thinking of doing, was printing out some posters about it and on tables for the next coffee and friends. Like once, so have them on the table.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah. And maybe we could take.
and Ian, the person who thought I could help with bees, sadly not.
This is John.
Yeah, Jonathan's the bee man. But they were a member of some gardening club.
Newton Hall.
Well, why don't we specifically target them?
Yeah.
So who's this?
New
The
Village.
Newton Gardening Club.
Helen's just a cat.
Helen.
Brilliant. So I've just gone through my emails and I've found what I sent folks absolutely ages ago. And I'm sorry, I'm really, really sorry I've not replied to this. I said in my head, thought, oh, Carrie probably knows it. So I'm really sorry, Carrie and Lydia, I never responded to this. So this is the categories I sent to everyone on email. But Carrie, I remember you replied and said, I can't do the vegetable one, I'm too close to it. So if I read the categories and then, you know, I definitely think we should just promote it to everyone who came to the Gardeners Question Time, because that was our little core audience, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mumbles Gardeners Club, which is called the Village Garden Club or something, isn't it? So Peter Robinson, who was on the panel, he's one of the judges. He's agreed he's agreed previously to be a judge. I think he's the one, and Ian Scott, they are the ones that are going to be key to getting this out, I think.
Because they're both at the Gardeners Club.
Yeah, so
Right.
so Ian Scott and Peter Robinson, who are the chair and ex-chair, and I don't mind speaking to Ian Scott. I think they're going to be key in helping to get us out. But that list we've got of people who signed up to the Gardeners Question Time, I think, as you say, Carrie, that alongside the Gardeners Club, that's going to be a really key audience. So I read out. I've just forwarded this to you, Lydia, again. But shall I just read it out and we can finalise it if you think it needs finalising?
Right, well, if you've sent it to Lydia, then we can, I mean, rather than doing it now, we can go through, we can do it by email or whatever and just check we've got everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is a data protection question. Are we allowed to use email addresses we've had for Gardeners Question Time to send out?
If they've been made aware that we retain their data for marketing.
That's right.
On the whenever I do sign up to an event,
Yeah.
I always put, do you want to be made aware on a questionnaire? And so if they have put yes to that, I keep their email address.
Okay, right.
Maybe not everyone that.
So you need
signs
to,
up,
yeah,
so
I just conscious that, you
So I
know,
can
If they've said,
Yeah, I
yeah,
keep a mailing list
brilliant.
of people that have said I want to be kept informed of
Okay,
any events you do in future, and then I've put a tick list of what events they want to be informed by. So some people just want to be told about volunteer days, some people want to be told about events that we do.
okay, good. Another time we can, I mean, it's getting a bit late, but we're just about in time, is at Mumbles Green Heroes. We'll make sure we got some posters out there as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so that will be last minute.
I know, the trouble is, it's now, the 11th wasn't so bad, but now it's had to be moved. It's
Yeah.
going to be very, very close.
So we're skipping forward now to some more.
No,
So I just said, as part of advertising Bath and Blue.
so
We'll come to that. It's on the agenda, Helen.
so we've got loads of avenues for advertising,
Yeah.
but is that going to get what can we come to a decision about price? What do we need to do to decide what's the spending budget?
I said, yes.
If the committee's got the ability to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Budget.
So I'm quite happy to
do
say,
we need to
no, Phil,
Yeah, it's minuted now.
I mean, I would say that we get, but also, I don't know, but I'm just thinking this would be quite nice and maybe would be something for future years. Maybe we have a cup for the overall winner with their name engraved on, and then the following year, the next year's winner gets their name engraved on.
But there'll be
No, the overall, we'll have the winners of each
So
category.
you can do a certificate for the winners of each
Yeah,
category.
and then we've always had an overall winner.
And instead of
Yeah,
a copy,
great idea.
shield. And then
Oh, yeah.
shields
Around
the
it.
shield with the winner of each year on, something like
I
that.
love that idea because in reality it's not really prestigious. It's not now, but I think that helps it become more prestigious, Carrie.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so yeah, some research on costs for that.
Okay.
So if we have £180, that'll be for cash vouchers, and then look at how much it would be for a,
So we're still doing
yeah,
so we do £30 per category.
Yeah.
And then we also do
yeah. Where there will be a shield or cup or whatever, yeah.
Can I just check which budget the 180 is coming out of?
Yeah, it's out of the £500 from Mumbles, Bath and Bloom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
so I'll
So
go
part of that budget.
and
Yeah. Yeah,
then I'll speak to Claire tomorrow and then get her to do some promotion for it.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then all the other actions for sending, I will do I'll get the poster, we have a poster
Right,
which says that applications opened on the 1st of May.
yeah,
And we've got a poster that says applications close. at the end of the first week.
yes, yes,
So people know what I'll do is I'll send that out to everyone that we've just mentioned.
yeah, good,
I'll send it to Claire to email the schools to ask that.
yeah,
Parents, and I will send them to councillors to send to the
and, yeah,
send out to
the governors and, yeah,
side of things.
yeah, so we hit them from both sides,
Yeah. And then so print some out for next week's Good Friends.
yes,
are the
excellent,
judges setting the judging criteria, or are we?
the judges. No, well, there is some criteria that Lydia set, but
Good.
basically it's the judges. There's a councillor and an external judge for each category.
Because I am very keen, obviously, to see that our environmental
There is it's been out when you go onto the
Yeah.
it's through a survey link. So when you go onto the survey link, it's very clear that you will whatever category you're in, you'll be in favour of your environmental
Yes.
credentials. Stuff.
Yeah, because that's the whole focus of it and why it's buzzing.
There is a degree for wildlife.
Yes,
Some people, it would be the ugliest garden in the world, but
but it's absolutely teeming with, yeah,
deserves
absolutely.
but it might be the next ornamental gardens.
But it wins the one for keeping most insects alive, yes. Okay, brilliant.
That's actually.
Okay, right, we're leaping straight into you again with the big climate leap.
Well, for everyone that went to the, sorry, I've got a lot to go through this meeting.
I know, and I'm sorry,
I did realise that when I sent all of this through, but it's a very busy time of year. The big climate leap, for everyone that went to the full council meeting, you should understand.
Unfortunately.
Basically, Sunny from the Environment Centre came to do a talk about it and just explained how it's going to work. Everyone I wanted to take it to full council. I was going to take it to this meeting, which is why it's in there, but I decided to take it to full council instead.
Yeah,
So that all
which was fantastic.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
How it's going to work is he's going to use the budget to so he's going to use the overall budget that's on the website to highlight hotspots where we may have quite high carbon footprint. And then from those hotspots, he's going to go ask for a more detailed budget of those budget areas.
Okay.
This isn't just the environmental stuff we do, this is everything that we do, to identify exactly where in that project or whatever it is our carbon footprint is highest,
Right.
and that will identify what to work on. And then after he's done that, there may be another carbon footprint, but it won't be a spend based one, it'll be a different yes, but so we'll come to that there. And that's probably all that we're going to get done for now.
Okay.
From that, he'll help us create an action plan.
Right.
So and how we can do that. But I made it very clear the full council meeting, that it's not about highlighting. It's about highlighting.
Yeah.
Sure that we're delivering things that we're saying that we care about. We're delivering all the promises we've made with the climate emergency.
Yeah.
And Wellbeing for Future Generations Act and things like that. So that's just a quick update.
Okay, good. No, that's good. Yes, I was really sorry I missed seeing him at full council, but I'm sure he'll be around again.
We've been so
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice maybe he could come to the environmental committee meeting sometime, maybe in September.
maybe after he's done the initial.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So yeah.
that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll sort of pencil that in for future. Okay, seems to be you again.
Yes. So promoting volunteer days. I was hoping the more councillors would be here. I
Yeah.
put a plea out for promoting volunteer days. I struggling to recruit volunteers at the moment. There's a couple of people that come to every volunteer day, but we really just need to get the word out there. People don't know about it.
Yeah.
I do send the Eventbrite out to all the councillors, and I'm pretty sure that everyone that's here are the people that send it. That
We're trying to yeah.
but they out to the councillors to volunteer days.
Okay, well, I will put that in my chair's report
Yeah.
to full council.
To not creating work for you, Lydia, said Phil.
Yeah.
That's creating. But there are some parents that will probably come down 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock on, at least in the summer evenings, with kids, because they're looking for activities to do after school that are free. And
Yeah, we could maybe do a volunteer sessions in a sort of after school one,
Maybe.
once a month or something.
Yeah.
And again, what you're doing there is you're starting with, you make it very clear that it has to be parent and child, or adults and limit it. If you chuck in a sausage roll, they'd be down there like a shot during the summer, during that
Yeah.
period of time until it's too dark, really, for
Yeah.
it to be safe.
The
So
tricky thing with that is we already do struggle with things to do, making sure they're appropriate for people and appropriate for the right
Yeah,
audience, making sure we have all the equipment and organising it and promoting it. It takes a lot of work. That volunteer coordinator.
yeah, it's too much.
We used to do them when we were doing Norton Nature Reserve, did them every week.
Yeah.
Put that down, and then we had to put it down again because it was just taking up too much.
I have a few ideas. However, probably best to talk about this another time.
But I think we definitely need to look at how, and whether it is to do with timing or, but I think if we could do it, maybe we just organise maybe one event to start with, which is like for children.
Yeah, well,
Come down and kind of learn about it.
we've done a few things with schools, and there's Oystermouth School take Forest School down there.
Yeah,
They also take their year 4 class. They're going to start taking their year 4 class down every week.
I'll put you in touch with Leon Cox, the head teacher from Males, because
From
they're
Males.
interested in something in the nature reserve.
Okay.
yes, because
So
they're,
there is
yeah.
actually already quite a lot of young person and children
So
involved.
maybe we just have to be realistic.
When we did the scouts, that scout season, we got absolutely soaked.
Yeah.
Probably about 90% of the children have said they've been there with their parents or been there with school. They've all
Right.
It's
Good.
just that we can't get.
We just change the focus and say, let's cut down our adult ones and focus more on the kids ones.
Again, I have some ideas. Check you outside the meeting.
So what they are, so that we can do them.
Yeah. Talk later.
Can't we talk about it now?
Sorry, what? It's really hard to actually know who's talking to the camera. Sorry, it's really hard to hear because Phil is like talking to the camera. So you can't hear. I said it's really hard to hear because you're all like Phil is talking to Carrie. You're having a three-way conversation and I can't quite hear it. So what are we talking about doing additional outreach activities?
Well, we're just looking at the volunteer days too, and I was just suggesting if we struggle to get adults, maybe we just focus more on children.
And do it on the Thursday, the kind of once a month, is it? That you mean instead?
And change the time possibly to after school.
Yeah. To just try it, see if that is more popular.
The regular volunteers that we do have now would be very disruptive with that.
That's true. How many do we get? 2.
I think there's a way of blending both
Yeah.
together.
You could ask them to use their fantastic experience to help with the children.
Or they can come on the day of.
Clear up.
So basically all I'm asking from this point is for a bit more help promoting volunteer days, but I do think that I'm preaching to the choir because I think I said it to you and you already.
Yeah, but I think it's worth us, maybe for a set meeting, we do a review of our volunteer days and look at whether there are other things we should be doing.
Post on social media as well. If you tag One Voice Wales into the social media posts, they repost your post as well.
That's right.
I send all of my volunteer days to Rachel. But she does something. But she
It's worth as well. And this is only from when I was at the One Voice Wales conference, that we maybe send our volunteer day information to other community councils in our area.
Yeah.
Would you feel kind enough to do that?
Yeah.
Because there was she was a councillor from Pennard, and we were talking, and I said about we've just got the grant funding for Jubilee Gardens and what the aim was to do with that, and she said I'd absolutely love to be involved with that if you do any volunteer days. So that's another shout out that we work with other community councils in our area as well, and if they send us stuff, with their stuff for them as well to help them.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I am. Recently, I've been, just posting on social media, and sending out to existing volunteers, and that's been the extent of my publicity. But now I've really realised that we really do need to help focus our publicity a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's putting into coffee with friends as well, because there are some.
Yes.
And a woman had a massive go at me, really aggressively, and said, do you think that any of us are going to be able to help you with volunteering? Like, because obviously it's elderly people.
Okay.
Not all of them, it was just one lady. But
The other thing is for us to advertise with SCVS.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I think that, yes, it's worth us all thinking our thoughts for over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
And then, in September, see if we can just think about how we can maybe just revamp them a bit to just attract different audiences. Yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah, thank you. Just some suggestions.
Jolly good. Right, Summer Mumbles Green Heroes. Yeah. See that?
This does form my update, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of these I put in there because I wanted to get it in before the agenda went out,
Yeah.
but a lot have been sort of resolved
Right.
very recently. So Mumbles Green.
It's good we pick up on all of them on the agenda.
To be honest, it's good to give you all an update and a proper update. So Mumbles Green Heroes is the 24th of July now.
And it's at Underhill again.
At Underhill. Underhill, it works really well as a venue.
Just apart from when they've got the rugby team and shouting their heads off and nobody can hear it.
Oh, really? That happened last
Yeah, because they were all they were serving all the kids
on the side.
at the side, and it was so loud that anyone at the back, all you heard was the kids shouting. Yeah.
Well, yeah. This one will be Gareth.
Yeah.
Gareth Seals, who he needed a screen, so we're using Underhill because the screen works really well.
Yeah.
It's an hour and 10-minute presentation.
Wow.
All about the Atlantic grey seals we've got on Gower, and it's going to be all about really interesting facts about them. My partner went to one of his talks and came back and told me loads of interesting facts.
Wow.
Really interesting facts about them, and also really highlighting what we can do to protect them and little things that you might think of while you're on the beach that really do. That's what we're going to be promoting it.
Yeah.
The only thing is, if any of you promote it for me, we do need to make sure that people know there is some sensitive content.
Okay.
We will be showing images of seals in a not very nice way. So, seals that have been harmed by, for example, frisbees that people trying to see.
Yeah.
And not they're quite graphic images. I'm not putting an age limit on it. He suggested I do, but I'm just going to put that warning.
Right, a warning. Yeah.
So yeah, it's the 24th of July, 5:30 until 7:30 at Underhill.
Yeah.
I've just created the Eventbrite page today.
Good.
I'm going to be getting SA1 to do promotion for it ASAP. And so when I send that out, I do think that this would be quite a popular one.
Yeah.
I've set the ticket limits at 50 people. The capacity is 60.
Because it gets too crowded, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how many people come. Yeah.
Okay, and I have a suggestion for a future Green Heroes. And I'm on the Gower AONB, National
Landscape. National
What's the other
Landscape.
one? There's 3 words.
National Landscape something.
Yes, or National something landscape. Anyway, go on now. Yes, and the Gower AONB officer, Swansea Council, he gave us just an update and a chat, and it was just really interesting. And I thought, and there's so many things going on in Gower that we could get involved in. So I just think that would be a really nice thing to do for our Mumbles Green Heroes.
That's a great idea.
With his contact details, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have a list of people that have expressed interest. And we've ticked up a few.
You should tell them, or they can come and talk, but only if they enter Buzz and Blue. That'll be the prerequisite. You get 10 people to enter Buzz and Bloom, and we'll have you at Mumbles Green Heroes.
No, I've got an idea. I've got an idea for the future. I think I wondered whether we could get Martin to do one of our old Martin grounds person to give us a little Green Heroes tour of Penrice.
Oh,
I wonder if he'd be able to do that, like maybe this time next year, as a Mumbles Green Heroes. He can talk about, instead of coming to Underhill, he could do that and talking about, because I think it's such an amazing estate. It's got, you know, fascinating history, isn't it? And whether he could come and give a little talk, but I know in Martin, he'd be happier in the city, wouldn't he? And I think whether we can get a little tour.
Maybe, yeah.
yeah,
We've got a couple of tours that we need to do. So there's still the Swansea Council
recycling,
that we need to organise maybe for the next one, because the idea was to do biodiversity sustainability. Be a tour.
Yes.
Of the
I know there was significant amount of work put in by the community into the study of that piece of land in West Cross that was mooted for development for a housing estate.
Chestnut.
Yeah.
Well, it still is, but it's going ahead, isn't it?
Yes,
Wow.
I'm
I know.
part of that campaign.
Has it gone through the public inquiry call in yet?
No, it's public inquiries in the second week of August.
Okay.
Yeah. My thoughts were, maybe dependent on the outcome, whether the people who actually put that package together of all the information that's going to be presented to the public inquiry, depending on the outcome, maybe they might like to come down and actually talk about that area.
Yeah, we just have to be careful that we're not being seen to be siding one side or the other.
Which is probably why we need to wait for the outcome.
Yeah, I think after that would, might be it,
What I'm saying is that if that work that's been done
it's work,
is something to be celebrated,
Be.
whether or not that gets ahead.
I think it's fascinating, Phil. I think that's a really interesting idea because, you know, it's really fascinating, all the information. So myself as a key part of that, Susan Cole, Ray Howell, Carol and Mike from the Gower Society have done loads of ecology work. The only thing I would say, apart from like me and Reed, very, very invisible. And I think we might have to guess. I would love to share that information, but if it goes against us, we have to play it quite carefully. I think there might be a lot of disappointment and
You know, whatever the outcome, if you were looking for green heroes, that itself is a very important piece of work for this area.
Yeah.
I think so, Phil. And I don't know if people have seen this. It's Gower and Common and Common. You know, Ray Howells has written this book of poetry.
Right.
I got 2 copies published, I think, about a fortnight ago. And it's, I think her book launches tomorrow night, actually, in Waterstones in Swansea.
All right, not in cover to cover. She's in Waterstones, right?
I'm pretty sure it is in Waterstones. Don't quote me. I'll check and get back to you. It's really amazing, Phil. You're right. It's really amazing.
Okay. Right. Well, anyway, it sounds like we won't be short of ideas from Mumbles Green Heroes for some time to come.
That's brilliant. That's good.
So, which is excellent. Fantastic. Is there anything left on your monthly report you haven't already told us?
Have a look. We've gone through May, really, didn't we? Last that's late in the month.
Yeah.
June, I've talked about Sunny Calm coming in and the Gower Seals. Swansea Council, still to hear back from Swansea Council about waste containers. They promised me June. It's now the end of June. So I will chase them again. But they keep. I think they're getting a bit annoyed at me chasing them. But they're responding. They're just saying it'll be next month. It'll be next month. So we're still doing everything exactly as I said last time. We're still doing everything that we should be doing. We're not going to get time by the council.
Good. So it's good.
Well, Natural Resources Wales, sorry. So we are recycling everything. We're getting
Excellent.
getting rid of our waste appropriately. It's just that the council haven't provided us with the new containers that we need.
Yeah.
So yeah. So so we did Litterpick, West Cross, which was attended, which was great. There was
Yeah.
lots of- So the volunteer numbers didn't.
If everybody else went.
So yeah, we've got 5 bags of
Yeah,
5 bags of recycling. So still a good day.
Yeah. absolutely.
The volunteer day we was lining the beds for Oystermouth School.
Yeah.
2 volunteers came to that, and that was a really lovely day. Rachel Carter from One Voice Wales came along, and took some photos from One Voice Wales.
Excellent.
And we had a really interesting chat about something that she's brought out about, which is an interactive ID guide for wildflowers, and basically a way your wildflower verge or your semi-natural grassland is high in biodiversity.
Oh.
So when that comes out, she's going to send it to me, and it's
Excellent.
really interesting. All you do is you go and you pick whether you've got these certain species, and it gives you a guide, and then you tick whether you've got them, and it tells you whether it's high in biodiversity, low in biodiversity, and then it goes on to tell you what you should do about it. So it's great. So that's something that we could use.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's something we could do about our.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a nature reserve, unfortunately, it turned up because it was 4 months first.
Yeah. Yes. I was going to say it was
That was a side of my part, yes. But yeah, pretty much everything on the update report. Next month, I'm hoping to do our little pick.
Yeah, by the skate park.
At the skate park on the 7th, which is our scheduled day. It's actually the air show, so I think we should try and do it on a Saturday, and I'll email you about it. On another day in the month, but I'm going to email you about it. And
Fine.
we're doing it with.
Choose a date. Yeah, I knew it was the air show. I did wonder if he was deliberately, because it might have been litter the day before. But I'll fit in with you.
Yeah, so we're going to try and start at the skate park. Full Skate Park Association are going to help promote it. We're going to make it targeted at skate park users, but it's just going to be a list that we start at.
A lot of problems.
If the skate park's really busy, we're just going to skate there, because obviously it's health and safety. We can't obviously go into the bowl and. But, yeah, exactly. But the idea was to really get skaters engaged with it.
Yes.
Create a positive atmosphere. So yeah,
Good.
that's next month. Jubilee Gardens. We're doing that bio blitz that I talked about, and then hopefully me and Ash are going to have a meeting next week about trying to finalise our plans for Jubilee Gardens.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my.
So
Brilliant.
Just to confirm, will you let me know the date? Are you definitely changing the date?
Yeah, I'm definitely changing the date. I've just got the translation back actually. We're just posted to say that it's been postponed and cancelled from the 7th.
Fine.
Do another post.
Right.
It'll be the date that I'm thinking of is the 27th of July. Sorry.
All right. So, but let's move it to the. Yes.
So 27, Saturday the 27th of July.
Yes.
I'll put that in. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Right. And of course, the thing I really wanted to talk about, we've run out of time. But we do, it's something I can task you all to go and do. Lydia's made a start on putting an environmental action plan together, lots of useful stuff at the beginning of it. We just need to have, we have all those budget headings, and they have all got to appear on the action plan somewhere with what we're planning to do with the money and when we're going to do it. And then we make sure every month that we're actually keeping up with that, so that at the end of the year, we have spent all our money.
Good plan, Carrie.
That is my plan.
Yeah,
It'll
no,
never
good idea.
work, but we got to try.
Yeah, well
So,
done.
yeah. So if you could all have thoughts about, and then maybe we'll really put it at the top of the agenda for next month, Ian, and say that's what we're going to spend next month, filling that up and getting it done.
Would you like that after the budget report or before
After,
the budget?
yes. Kerry says after, so I'm totally in agreement. Yeah, so that would be good if we can focus on that and try and make that, the meeting, and I'll hopefully will encourage a few more people to come. It'll be on the 22nd.
22nd of July, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
And the other thing is that Paul will be present next month.
right, it is,
Yeah.
yeah, excellent. Yes, so that would be good because that'd be really helpful for him to be there when we're talking about how we sort the money out.
Yes.
And think in terms of the fact that anything up to £1,000, we don't have to go to full council, we can just action it straight away.
Mhm.
So that should speed up us actually getting things done. So bear that in mind in terms of the action plan, and that will help us hopefully get through stuff.
Good.
Okay. Right, MCC website, yes.
I said that.
Yes.
Mentioned that to you earlier. I've sent a website layout design idea, which I've just put in the Teams file if you want to look at it afterwards. For this meeting, the Teams folder for this meeting.
Oh, lovely. So we can look at it after, yeah.
Send that over to them.
Yes, I see it.
Them to send it to the right people. Haven't responded, and so and Pester.
Yeah, good.
But that's the idea. If you have a look at that and you think that there's anything wrong with it, let me know. But that would be my idea of the ideal layout. I've sent it to Kerry and Claire, and they said that for me to send it to them implemented. But
Fantastic.
yeah, it's been a long road, but hopefully
Oh,
help
tell me about it.
help us get it on. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks, Lydia. That's great. So that's,
Looking forward to seeing it. I'd just like to piggyback off the back of this an action point to, can we get some idea from SA1, please, as to how the social postings?
Yeah.
yes,
So the community and social.
yeah, that's what I said. No, culture. Yeah.
And it's something that I do need to do, and it was actually formed part of the discussion I was having with a member of staff this morning.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Good.
we do need to do that.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I'm
Because if the reach isn't
yeah.
reachy enough, we're not going to, no matter how many posts we put out.
That's right.
Doing a contracts register, so it'll be a spreadsheet of all our contracts, how long they've been,
Yes,
whether
good idea.
they're due to be renewed, and then when we go through the renewal process, when we got the 3 quotes, who we had 3 quotes from, and who was the successful person, so then at a snapshot we can just give it to the auditor instead of having to pull loads of different information together. But that would be one of the ones that
While we're talking about it, it's all our posts are really good. They all go out bilingual. I did not see a single Mumbles Fest post that went out with anything Welsh on at all.
okay, because I did.
Not a single one in the whole of every fest. They were practically 3 times a day they were coming out. Not a single one.
That's all.
Okay.
Another one.
There's always that, because they did actually, because obviously we had Welsh performers there.
Yeah.
Edinburgh School performed, and apparently that went down really, really well.
Yeah, I hope that.
Really good.
Yeah, great. Really good.
Mixture of the English and the Welsh, so it should have been obviously promoted in the Welsh as well, but that's, I'll feed that back to the committee.
Lovely. If you could, thank you. I did ask some time back and said
I did see
Yeah.
nothing got done, so. Right, recycling update. Have we pinned down who we should be asking about arranging this visit? I mean, in my day, so that was when Matthew was still here. It was Thomas Williams was the recycling
It would be
officer.
The man that came to do the presentation.
Right, so can we,
But I'm wondering.
oh, I see, rather than,
It's the Green Heroes. Team.
but it would need to be a daytime presumably.
Yeah, that's fine. The Green Heroes aren't on a set date.
No,
No, just they could do it weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
We could do a daytime one.
Yeah, it would be.
I'm just thinking in terms of when it's working.
Yeah.
Mind you, we probably wouldn't be allowed to go when it's in full power. I mean, you can see it from just like you stand there and watch it. It's all very exciting.
I will. There is one. I will get the details off there. It's a full-on circular economy one in Carmarthen somewhere.
Oh,
Another clerk who went to look at it and she was like rabbiting onto me.
Right.
She was so blown away that how
wow,
it's
yeah.
actual proper circular economy all in one place.
Is that where they make the magic compost as well?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because our green waste gets sent to Carmarthen, doesn't it, to be turned into
Yeah.
compost.
So I'll ask her for those.
Merlin's magic. That's
Those
it.
details.
Merlin's magic, that's it.
So yeah.
Yeah, so we could have that as an action, well, it is an action, I know,
Yeah.
but to get a date or some suggested dates,
Mhm.
talk to them, when is the best time? Is it better for us to go in the morning or at the end of the day or at a weekend, just see when,
Yeah.
and then we can, from that, we can build in maybe for September to have a, as you say, the Mumbles Green Heroes
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm going to stop the recording, but I just want to speak to you all before you leave as well.
Okay.
The meeting's finished, if that's okay.
Okay, thanks everyone,
Thank you.
but don't go away.
Don't
Yeah.
go away.
They